Let's go ahead and talk to Mia in Ohio, then Andrew. Mia, thanks for calling. You're on the air with Stuart Rhodes.
Alex, hi. Thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to call about a situation that we had on 4th of July over here. I live in a city and a suburb of Cleveland, West Side, and it's pretty much being taken over by Muslims. It's horrifying. I took my two little boys. I have a 7 and 8-year-old boy. My husband and I got our bags, picnic stuff, brought it to the local park, and immediately I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It looked like I was in another country. I started getting upset. I looked around. I said something to one of them. I said, "Where's your red, white, and blue? I don't see anyone with flags or any, they're wearing all their black stuff." And I just got really upset, and I said some stuff, and then they said stuff back to me. And within seconds, I had about 5 cops grab me in front of my kids, handcuff me, put me in the car, and take me away and arrest me.
Well, ma'am, I'd like to, I'm sure this is a true story. I'd like to put you on hold, get you as a guest, get your info, and try to support you because all over the country, I go to restaurants now, just regular restaurants. There'll be 5 women with burqas on in Austin. So it must be 10 times the number they say a Muslim's been brought in. I mean, it must be millions a month or something. I mean, you drive down any street, there's just Muslims everywhere in full burqas. I mean, I'm not just talking to jibs. I mean, full beekeeper suits. And they're just, you can't go to most malls in Austin now. The men will say stuff to your daughters. "Oh, little slut bitch." You want to get in a fight with them. Your 10-year-old daughter, they go, "You're my bitch now." Because if they're not wearing a beekeeper suit, they're free game. And so all the grooming, all of it's here. So you were out trying to go to the 4th of July public event. You saw this?
Yes, and it happened last year too, and I ignored it. And then, I told my husband I got to leave. I'm super, I'm just so American, and I'm so patriotic. It just disgusted me.
So what did the police charge you with something?
They charged me. Well, some Muslim lady came up to me and she goes, "If you don't leave here, something really bad's going to happen to you."
Oh.
And right after she said that, I'm sure I said something back, and immediately, I'm telling you.
Wait, you talked back to a god?
I know. Can you believe it?
So what an American woman. Listen, under Islam, only Islamic women can even talk. Dogs outside Islam do not talk. You dirty infidel. You talk back to a living God?
You know what the worst part, though, Alex, is that the police were so quick to judge who was the problem in the situation.
Of course.
As me, and throw me.
Ma'am, stay there. But I want to get, so have they charged you with something?
Yes, I am being charged with, well, first of all, they were asking me my name, and I was so mad, so I wouldn't
Sure,
tell
they tricked you into, okay, stay there. I'm going to come back to you. Stuart's going to take a break. He's hosting the 4th hour. I'm going to come back. We're going to talk to Mia. You heard about people getting arrested for Hitler dog jokes, or you heard about what happened to Tommy Robinson for covering Islamic rape gangs. Well, this woman's been arrested in Ohio for talking to a god. You don't talk to gods. Yeah, folks, the country has been overrun. Islam has 1.8 billion people. It's said to be 3 billion in just less than a decade. And the borders are wide open. And all the big corporations are behind it. And yeah, in Europe, they have no-go zones everywhere. And Europeans aren't allowed to go into them. The Muslims can burn thousands of cars a night. They're God. And so this poor lady, Mia in Ohio. Mia, I know you're upset about this. Recap where it happened, where you were. We've gotten your name and number. You're going to get us the proof. We're going to make a national story out of this. You were arrested for talking to a Muslim. And I want to hear how the police set you up, what town you were again, where all this happened. Because we're going to make a big issue out of this. So recap what happened to you.
Okay. Well, this is Westlake, Ohio. We're about 40 minutes west of Cleveland. And I'm from the east side of Cleveland originally, and I've never seen so many. When I moved with my husband here, I noticed the difference of the area, and I've been concerned about it ever since. And so when we were at a picnic all day on 4th of July, swimming at a pool with family, aunts, uncles, we got home, we got ready, we went to the local our city fireworks display. And Alex, I just looked around. I couldn't believe it. I mean, we must have been like literally in like a no-go zone in my own city, you know? And I didn't want to make a big deal out of it in front of my husband because he gets, you know, he's kind of like, you're so sensitive to it, you know, whatever. So anyhow, we sat down and he went and got ice cream with the kids. And I just looked around. I couldn't help it. I started videotaping and I was getting angry. And I just said, where's your red, white, and blue? Where everyone was wearing like black. It was, you know, no one had a flag. No one had an American T-shirt. Nothing.
Let's be clear.
And
It
here we
wasn't
are.
the burqas. It wasn't the hijabs. It wasn't the black clothing of obviously super Orthodox Muslims. It was that there wasn't any American flags. They were just there for the fireworks.
You know, well, yeah. I mean, you're just there to see fireworks. And I remember going last year, and I had to leave last year because I thought maybe it was just a weird night, and I just didn't like the scene. And anyhow, so I'm taking a video.
Ma'am, I get how you're freaked out. I've been in restaurants, okay, where there's literally a third of the restaurant or half is men with women in burqas. They take the food and go under it. It's people like in Halloween outfits. And they're so arrogant about it. Everyone kisses their ass.
They're very
And like
arrogant.
gay people come over and go, oh, we love you. Oh, you know, they want to kill them. And it's just so obscene. So I get what you're saying, the incompatibility of all this. So tell us, oh, you videotaped in public. Was that angered them? So tell us what happened.
So I'm videotaping and I'm saying, look at this city, Westlake, you know, and I was making comments. Well, someone must have heard me. She came up to me and she goes, you better get out of here. Something bad's going to happen to you. And I'm, you know, I must have said, obviously, I fought back. I said, what are you talking about? This is my city, my country. Where's your, you know, and then I went on the American, where's your, you know, representation of our country, nothing. And one of her friends or whoever, another Muslim in the area must have ran to the police because within seconds I had about 6 cops on me, like as if I had pulled a gun or something. And I couldn't believe it. You know, I felt like, so I'm still shocked. I'm still in shock. I swear to God.
And so the police, let me guess, they tricked you into getting upset and claim you did something to them. What did they charge you with?
Well,
because
he originally said, I said, what are you arresting me for? He said, assault. I said, you're lying. I said, I never touched anybody. And I swear to you on my kid's life, I didn't touch anybody.
Sure, of course.
So, they bring me over to the car in handcuffs. I said, officer, just let me get my things and let me just get my husband and my kids and get in the car and go home. And, you know, and he wouldn't let me.
Oh, he's going to get a promotion for teaching a dirty American to lay down and take it. So what happened? He claimed you bumped him or something?
These were 2 particular officers. And then they wanted, you know, they were treating me like crap and they wanted my name. And I said, do I have to give you my name? You know, I was like combative.
So how did it end? What did they charge you with?
Well, they ended up charging me with disorderly conduct and failure to disclose my name.
So being a dirty American. Well, don't worry. You go for a jury trial. You don't plea bargain. And I want your full info. I'm sure it's a true story. You a GoFundMe. You need to raise $1 million. And then we'll have a whole film crew out there. I'll give you my word. Next 4th of July, our listeners will fund a film crew there to show the jihadi 4th, okay?
It's just sad. Yeah, it's sad. But anyhow, that's
Let me guess, were the Islamists celebrating when you were taken away in cuffs?
Oh, my God, thank you for saying that because that was my next point. It was disgusting to watch them laughing at me as they took me away from my kids and put me in a cop car. They were all, that's the last thing I remember. That's the image.
They celebrate our openness and weakness. Oh, yeah. Oh, believe me, I've seen it, yeah.
Yep. And no
they
one
all had kind of that Ilhan Omar look, kind of like just wait. How are they laughing? Like tell us about it.
I just remember looking at one particular gentleman with the beard and the whole thing and just him with these big, huge teeth laughing at me. And that's like the last thing I remember seeing before, you know.
Let me just say this, Mia, your husband's lucky to have you, and we need more women like you to get their men in frickin' gear. So you need to tell your husband, don't try to take me to some America desecration, piss in America's face event like that again. And I'm not telling you to get a new husband, but, you know, I mean, what does he think about this now? Is he pissed off he got arrested?
Well, he was for just a little bit.
Oh,
you know,
okay, yeah, that's wonderful.
I mean, just that night, because, well, first of all, they're like
most
"You're drunk."
American
I'm
men
like,
should
"No,
be
I'm not
begging
drunk. I
for
was
a
just-"
woman like you. No, I'm serious. That has instincts and is concerned,
It is concern. It just so saddens me, and it's so close to me that I watched Tommy Robinson, and it just reminded me. I felt like him for a minute. It was scary. It's
Well,
like,
let me
wow,
tell you,
this really is
don't plea
happening.
bargain these bastards, and you make them get it in front of a jury, okay?
Yeah, well, I already got an attorney, and she's working on it, but I don't know what to do.
Listen, we're going to get your full info. I want to do a story on you. God bless you. All right, see, I'll take a lot of calls, and that one caller I could talk to for hours. Folks, let me tell you, you don't think it's upsetting until I can't go to Barton Creek Mall now at night. And I've been coming to Barton Creek Mall since I was a little kid. Even before I lived here in high school, I cut to Barton Creek Mall. You go there on a lot of nights, it'll be like hundreds of Muslims. And my daughters are like, when I'm 15 now and 11, about 2 years ago, we went up there, we ate at the Cheesecake Factory. We walk out, there's like about 60, 70 Muslims. They look like they're from really rough areas in the Middle East, okay? I mean, it looks like an Al-Qaeda function. There's women in full burqas. I'm like, okay, let's just get out of here. One of my girls runs over wanting to buy a toy dinosaur. They had toy helicopters and toy dogs. I said, come on, to my middle daughter. I got 3 daughters. And they started running their freaking mouths, man, and like, blah, 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 like, because they see it like that product. Women are property. And they're seeing my little daughters, running around beautiful. And they're smiling at me like, ha ha. And I was just like, and it was just like, oh my God, man. It's like I'm being so conquered right now. I mean, it is beyond Nazi Germany. And you go to the mall, man, it's like the Gap is like women in hijabs. I'll never go to the Gap again. It's just bombarding. So it's just everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. You don't know the nauseating feeling of it when they're like laughing at you because they know you're weak. And they know your government's working for them, and they know the border's open, and they know they've already taken over half the world, and they know they're going to get you. And they point right at your daughter, and they go, hi, hi. And we watch all the videos out of Turkey and out of Israel where the Muslims are at going, they are weak in America and Europe. We will have sex with their daughters and piss on Jesus. We will take control of all their lands. Their women will be ours forever. We have them now. And I'm just like, when does it end? How does it stop? More loaded calls here. The phone lines are loaded up with Andrew and Ben and Lyle and Joe and Jim and Michael and Gavin and everybody. But let me tell you, when you're at a mall with 100 Muslim men around, you look at your daughters going, ah, nice girl. Ah, she served Islam well. Yeah, George Strait ain't trying to get into Somalia, folks. Sorry. Somalia's trying to get into George Strait. Guess what? You're welcome here no matter what color you are. But you don't like this country, go to hell.
Baseball today. It's the American way. Of course, the next best thing to a seat in the stands is a seat in front of a 19-inch RCA Victor television.
One more day to Labor Day weekend, the traditional occasion for tasty outdoor barbecues or picnics.
with all the enemies who are between me and...
Thank you.